on the final leg of our Alaska adventure. After leaving the Kenai Peninsula, we stopped off to see Turnagain Arm and the Boar Tide. Then the Swans at Potter Marsh outside Anchorage, where we turned northeast to the start of the George Parks Highway, with stops at the Matanuska Glacier, Hatcher Pass, and the Independence Mine. Talkeetna, where we took the Alaska Railroad Hurricane Turn Train. Denali, where we saw caribou, moose, grizzly bear, and ultimately Mount Denali itself. And then historic Nenana, site of the completion of the Alaska Railroad. We reached the end of the Parks Highway and now continue touring Fairbanks on our Golden Anniversary adventure.
From Florida to Alaska, from the East Coast to the West Coast, join Jane and Steve celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary, traveling across North America in the cool Nana coach, their 27-foot Freedom Elite Class C motorhome, as they visit the many beautiful points of interest in all 50 United States on their Golden Anniversary adventure. It's Monday, July 25th, our 69th day on the road, our 3rd day in Fairbanks, and our 37th day in Alaska. Today we are visiting the Pioneer Park. Located in Fairbanks, it is a historical and cultural park that offers a glimpse into the pioneer history of the region. Originally established as Alaska Land in 1967 during Alaska's Centennial celebration, the park was later renamed Pioneer Park. It was created to showcase the state's history, culture, and heritage. They feature a collection of historic buildings, museums, and exhibits that recreate the atmosphere of early Alaska. Visitors can explore Gold Rush Town with wooden boardwalks, saloons, and shops, providing an authentic experience of pioneer life. Some structures in the park are original, while others are replicas that contribute to the immersive historical setting. better known as Woodsaw Bill, cut wood in Fairbanks for over 40 years. Bill had a rather unusual setup for cutting wood. His saws, loaded on the back of his truck, had a drive line that made it possible to disconnect the drive train and use the truck engine to power the saw. Sharon was born in Ontario, Canada, August 13, 1877, and he came to Skagway in June of 1898. Hiked over the White Pass, and from there to Lake Bennett and then on to the Klondike, where he mined for a number of years around Dawson City before coming to Fairbanks in 1905. As we strolled through the grounds, we came across the Tanana Valley Railroad Museum. The Tanana Valley Railroad is a historic narrow-gauge railroad that played a significant role in the early development of the region. It was established in the early 20th century to support the gold mining industry in the Fairbanks area. It was a critical transportation link for moving people, supplies, and equipment to and from the gold mines. The TVRR, as it was known, operated a narrow gauge track, which is a track width narrower than the standard gauge used by most railways. The narrow gauge was often preferred in areas where construction and maintenance costs were significant concerns. The railroad played a vital role during the Fairbanks Gold Rush, which began in the early 1900s. It facilitated the transportation of gold, mining, machinery, and supplies between Fairbanks and the goldfields. The route covered approximately 20 miles from Fairbanks to Chattanooga, passing through the gold mining districts. The railroad crossed the Tanana River, providing a critical connection between the mining operations and the city of Fairbanks. In addition to supporting the mining industry, the Tanana Valley Railroad also provided much-needed passenger services. The railroad was an essential mode of transportation for both residents and visitors during the early years of Fairbanks. The decline of the gold mining industry led to the eventual closure of the Tanana Valley Railroad. Today, some sections of the historic railroad have been preserved and are part of the Tanana Valley Railroad Museum. The museum showcases the history of the railroad and its role in the development of the region. Visitors to the museum can explore vintage rail cars, locomotives, and exhibits that provide insights into the early days of Fairbanks. While the original Tanana Valley Railroad is no longer operational, heritage rail excursions and events sometimes take place, offering visitors a chance to experience the charm of narrow-gauge rail travel. The dedicated volunteers of the Tanana Valley Railroad Museum have done a phenomenal job restoring and maintaining the railroad's rolling stock. Sternwheelers at one time plied the rivers of Alaska, bringing in fortune seekers from all over the world to find their riches in gold. Though few seeking gold struck it rich, the Sternwheelers continued to bring people and supplies to fish camps, villages, and towns of Pioneer, Alaska. At one period in Alaskan history, there was over 300 flat-bottom sternwheelers navigating the Yukon River and its tributaries. These sternwheelers were essential in the development of the history of Alaska. Of all these lifelines of the rivers, only one remains in Alaska, the steamer SS Nenana. The Nenana was a historic sternwheeler riverboat that operated on the rivers of Alaska. It played a crucial role in the transportation of passengers and freight during the early to mid-20th century. Built in 1933 by the Alaska Railroad at their shipyard in Nenana, it was constructed to replace an earlier riverboat of the same name, which had been destroyed by ice in 1931.
Please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you won't miss our future episodes.
The Nenana is a sternwheeler, meaning it is powered by a large paddle wheel at the stern. The riverboat had a shallow draft, allowing it to navigate the often shallow and winding rivers of Alaska. Its primary purpose was to transport passengers, freight, and mail along the Tanana and Yukon rivers in Alaska. It played a crucial role in supporting the mining, agricultural, and other industries in the interior of Alaska by providing a means of transportation. It was operated by the Alaska Railroad and was part of a fleet of riverboats that served as lifelines to remote communities in the region. It transported a variety of goods, including mining equipment, food, and general supplies. As rail and road transportation improved in Alaska, the reliance on riverboats like the Nenana diminished, and in 1954, the SS Nenana was officially retired from service as more modern modes of transportation became prevalent. Despite the decline in its original function, the SS Nenana was preserved as an historic artifact where it's now displayed here at Pioneer Park. It was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1989, recognizing its significance in the transportation history of Alaska. Here we got to see the ornate Denali railcar used by President Warren Harding. President Warren G. Harding's trip to Alaska in 1923 was a historic and significant journey, as he became the first sitting U.S. president to visit the territory. The primary purpose of his visit was to promote the economic development of Alaska and to better understand the region's challenges and opportunities. President Harding's Alaska trip took place from June 20th to July 15th, 1923. He embarked on a nearly 17,000-mile journey that covered much of the United States, including stops in the Pacific Northwest, Alaska, and Western Canada. This extensive trip was part of Harding's commitment to understanding and addressing the needs of the entire country. One of the major events during Harding's visit was the driving of the Golden Spike in the village of Nenana, approximately 55 miles south of Fairbanks, to complete the Alaska Railroad. This railway project aimed to connect Seward and Fairbanks, facilitating transportation and development in the region. The completion of the railroad was a crucial milestone for Alaska's economic growth. President Harding delivered several speeches during his visit to Alaska, emphasizing the importance of the territory to the nation's economic interests. He spoke about the potential for agriculture, mining, and fisheries in Alaska and expressed his hopes for the region's prosperity. In his speeches, Harding acknowledged the challenges faced by Alaska, such as its remote location and harsh climate. However, he also highlighted the economic potential of the territory, particularly in terms of its abundant natural resources. President Harding and his wife Florence also had the opportunity to witness the natural beauty of Alaska, including its majestic landscapes, glaciers, and wildlife. President Harding's visit to Alaska had a lasting impact on the region. It drew attention to the importance of Alaska's economic development and infrastructure, and it contributed to a growing awareness of the territory's strategic significance. It's worth noting that President Harding's presidency was cut short by his death in 1923, just a few weeks after his return from Alaska. Despite the controversies and challenges associated with Harding's presidency, his trip to Alaska remains a notable chapter in the history of the United States' relationship with the northernmost state.
Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you. Want to see more? Check us out on Instagram on our Golden Anniversary Adventure page.